Hello everyone, this is Dana Talverk, and welcome to the last Takoro mock video um, for my uh, batch of Bionicle mocks I made in January. This is the Takoro uh, Furnace Crab. So even though it doesn't have like enough limbs or whatever to be considered a crab, this is a crab from Takoro, and the name Takoro Furnace Crab means that yes, like the Morbuzak plant from the Metronui years, this creature lives inside the furnaces at Takoro. And however, unlike the Morbuzak, it's actually good to keep it around if it weren't for Makuda's corruption of the Rahi. This creature is actually able to regulate the heat in the furnaces so that they don't destroy the village around them by absorbing excess heat and steam, which is also why it's red. It's not red just because it's from Takoro. It is red because its skin is always burnt due to it living inside furnaces. In fact, if it did not have burnt skin, it would actually be brown like its feet. However, its skin has been so burnt by the furnaces that it has turned red, and the only parts that remain its original skin color are its claws as they hug the edges of the furnace, which are significantly colder due to this creature regulating the temperature with its body. So this is just a really simple, well, not simple, but it's a pretty generic looking kind of crab monster Rahi. It was I think the first Rahi I built in this collection of Rahi that I will be looking at over this batch of videos. So it's essentially just a Gory / Avmatoran torso connected to an Ignika slash Glatorian style torso piece, and then it has a Vaki waist attached on the back of that torso piece. So, you may be wondering, if this Rahi is corrupted by Makuda, how can you tell that? How do you know a Rahi is corrupted by Makuda? Well, unlike the original series where it was through the masks that are on them being corrupted, in this scenario, I decided I have a lot of brain attack brain creatures. And also for a lot of the Rahi, I wanted to use brain attack heads. So I decided these brain attack slugs are my universe's equivalent of Krana and Krana Shadow Leeches / Krata. They are the corrupting little bugs / parasites that will get onto the Rahi and turn them against their normal natures and make them aggressive. So this figure does have some articulation, but most of it you wouldn't want to move even though you can. So it's easier to see if I lift the creature up and to show off the articulation. Actually, no, if I flip it on its stomach. Yeah, so it's got a little bit of give at the neck joint because of how it's connected. And then it's got a ball joint at the neck. It's got ball joints at the base of the claw arms and then an actual ball joint at the claw, and then a hinge joint at the tip of the claw. Then it's got ball joints at the base of each leg, and then ball joints at the ankles. And then it has ball joints at the base and tip of the tail, but because of the way the brain slug is attached, you don't really want to use those joints because you'll dislodge the brain slug. It also has ball joints at these armor pieces on its sort of carapace, but there isn't really a point in moving those. They're not really intended articulation, they're just an attachment point. There's also a little bit of wiggle at the back of the head, which is not an intended bit of articulation, it's just the way it's designed. So, for size comparisons, this Rahi isn't very tall. It's actually about the height of a Matoran, which is obviously, that's because its size is not vertical, its size is essentially horizontal. So horizontally, it is about as big as a Toa, slightly larger than a Toa. So about as big as a Glatorian, which I have only covered one Glatorian build, I think, so far in the series. Gelu does not count. That was a Toa build that I gave a Glatorian head. So the only Glatorian style build I've covered was the Subjugator of Great Beings and the Subjugated Great Being. But both of those sets are... I mean, the Subjugated Great Being is a Glatorian because Great Beings are Glatorians, but the Subjugator of Great Beings used to be a Rakshi, so... But I do not have a single Rakshi built in this size scale yet, so... Besides her, and she's changed her appearance enough that she doesn't really look like a Rakshi anymore. But that pretty much does it for the Furnace Crab. See you all next time when we take a break from the sweltering heat of Takoro to move to the cold peaks of Kokoro and Spherus Magna.